What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about Norwegian news. Because as an American, I never get to hear about Norwegian news here in the United States. So today, I want to take some time to learn about the current news and events that are happening in Norway that I otherwise never get to hear about. So let's take a look here, starting with Norway tamed Trump at home. What does that mean? What does this mean? The unpredictable US President Donald Trump seemed to be on his best behavior when he welcomed Norway's Prime Minister? The Prime Minister of Norway was here? The Prime Minister of Norway was here in America. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I had no idea about this. This is exactly what I mean when I say news in America never talks about this kind of stuff. Wow, I can't believe I didn't hear about this. Trump was friendly and hospitable, and the talks went into overtime as Norway continued to urge respect and support for Ukraine. You know, I did see on social media, Trump said something about Norway. Like, oh, Norway does really well. Norway is really wealthy. Norway has done really well. And I was thinking, oh, that's random. Like, Trump mentioned Norway. I was like, oh, that's cool. It's because the Prime Minister of Norway was visiting the United States. Now it makes sense. Okay. And I mean, go figure, the visit went well. So Norway, the Prime Minister talked about support for Ukraine. I know that Norway has had enormous support for Ukraine and continues to support Ukraine. So that's kind of what some of the discussion was about, because obviously the relationship between the United States and Ukraine has been tumultuous at best, kind of up in the air recently with Trump becoming president. It wasn't like when Trump yelled and tried to humiliate Zelensky during the meeting at the White House. Yes, we all remember that. Trump seemed to have genuine respect for both Store and the finance minister Jens Stoltenberg and their entourage, led by Norway's ambassador to the United States. So Trump had genuine respect for Norway. I mean, that's good. That's good. I mean, I know a lot of Norway and Norwegians don't really like Trump, and a lot of the world doesn't like Trump. A lot of people all around the world don't like Trump. But it seems like if you're Norway and you have to visit and you have to try to maintain a relationship with us, the United States, which I would like, that'd be great. It's nice that if you're doing that, that Trump seems to have an admiration and respect for Norway. I mean, that's good. That's nice. I love, of course, I love Norway, claimed Trump during his introductory remarks. I mean, you never know what is true, what is genuine or not, but I don't know. Part of me thinks this is very real because Trump definitely respects wealth and prestige and accomplishment, and Norway has all of those things. Norway is a really successful country. So I think Trump probably has genuine respect for Norway and loves Norway. Trump just loves ya. As top members of the cabinet settled down for lunch with Norwegian guests, it's beautiful. We have a great relationship. I'm glad you're here. Wow. Trump referred to Store as the great prime minister of the Kingdom of Norway Instead, it was a pleasure to have my old friend Stoltenberg at the table as well. Wow. This went very, very, very well. Like, very well. Huh. I wonder if this surprised the Norwegian government at all. But the United States has never had like a directly bad relationship with Norway, and I hope we never do. So it's good. It's unusual. I did hear a few weeks ago that Norway like refused fuel to American ships or something. That was like a big controversy, but for the most part, our relationship has been very good. So I hope that stays that way. It's unusual for an ultra conservative politician like Trump to be so welcoming of leaders from a government with such a different values, such as Norway. Social democracy is not high on Trump's agenda, but he called it an honor to host guests from Norway, now one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Yeah, yeah. That might be a big reason Trump is really keen to be friendly with Norway, because you guys are very wealthy and successful. After various pleasantries, Trump and the Norwegian guests plunged into over an hour of talks, talking about security and defense issues, Russia's war on Ukraine, yep, trade policy, and Storr and Stoltenberg made it clear over half of Norway's sovereign wealth fund is invested in U.S. companies. Is that right? Wow! Whoa! So I didn't know that. Norway has a huge investment in the United States economy, which our economy was going down. It was going through the floor. Terrible for a few weeks there. It's starting to make a slight recovery now that some of the tariff controversies have started to kind of become a little more clear. I don't know. And Trump paused the tariffs on the world for like 90 days. So we're going to see what happens at the end of that. And that has brought a little bit of like of the unpredictability down. So anyway, no one knows if the US is going to go into a recession, if we're already in a recession, but now I understand Norway has a huge investment in the United States. Over half of your oil fund is in U.S. companies. Wow. Trump respects wealth, and Stoltenberg, Norway's prime minister, offered to help the U.S. set up its own fund. Thank you. Please. Yes. Yes. Please do that. Yes. Norway, you have this awesome oil sovereign wealth fund. It's like your country has an investment account where you have all this money growing for years. And that would be amazing if the United States could do that. And Norway could certainly Norway could teach about that. You guys know all about that. The conversation moved to Russia's war on Ukraine, with Norwegians seeking support for Ukraine, making it clear Russia invaded Ukraine and the aggression must be stopped. So, I mean, wow. So Norway, you guys used a lot of your time with Donald Trump to advocate for Ukraine, which is very admirable. I have my own deadline, said Trump, who's been very uncritical of Putin. Yes, Ukrainians have fought hard to defend themselves. Storr seized the opportunity to state during a press briefing that Ukraine is under attack and they're just defending themselves. Wow. Talks with Trump included trade issues. Yeah, because Trump wanted to do these massive tariffs on, and Norway was included in that. Trump slapped Norway with a 16% tariff, lowered it to 10%, before backing down and postponing the tariffs for 90 days. That's what I heard as well. That's what's happening right now. It's all paused for 90 days. They asked whether he'd lower his tariff against Norway. Trump noted, Norway is a wealthy country. They have a great fund, so I think they can pay something. That might have been the quote I heard. That might have been what I saw on social media. This quote of Trump saying, Norway has a great fund. Norway is very wealthy. I think Norway can pay something to us. I think that's the clip I saw. Trump claimed the U.S. has a good relationship with Norway, maybe better than ever. I don't know if that's what Norwegians would say. Um, Trump described Norway as beautiful and well run. Wow. So Trump was very complimentary of Norway, which is nice, but you never really know what that means. I mean, this is my president, and for us Americans, we don't even know what he's going to do half the time. But that's really great that the meeting between Norway and the United States seemed to go well. I don't know if any new policies were made out of this, or it was really just talk. But it was friendly, which is good. It's better. That's better. It wasn't a Zelensky situation where Stoltenberg and Jonas Gahr Store were like sent out of the White House. So that's good. What else is happening in Norway? F-35s fly high as defense support soars. Is this like a airplane? Like fighter jets? Yes. 3 of Norway's F-35 fighter jets broke the stillness of Easter. They flew over Norway's northern areas, close to the Russian border. It was a training mission, and it reflects how defense and national security are now viewed by a majority of Norwegians as the most important issue. Norwegian defense and security and your military and the jets. This is Norwegian. This is one of your top issues. Wow. I mean, that's scary that it's come to that, isn't it? Mostly due to the Russia's war and attacks against Ukraine. Residents of Vasdal, Bjugnes, Kirkenes were sharing accounts of how the jets were flying overhead over the Easter weekend. Wow. So basically, Norway, this is like a training thing. You guys are getting your jets and your military ready to go. Wow, defense and security hasn't been viewed so important since the 1980s. Oh my God. I mean, it's good that Norway you're like preparing for this. It's good that you're prepared, but it's also sad that this is the state of affairs in the world, isn't it? Church of Norway membership rises. Really? After years of decline, the state-funded Church of Norway is attracting record numbers of new members, mostly young adults with new children. Researchers think Norwegians are attracted by the church's emphasis on fellowship, not just worship, like a sense of community, like being together. Yeah, because I didn't think that religion was really big in Norway. It's pretty big in America. A lot of Christianity and stuff. And I haven't heard much about this in Norway, but apparently you guys have an uptick in the amount of Norwegians going to church. Wow. Interesting. And I wonder why this is. It's because supporting human rights and social issues and babies have brought a new generation back to the church. 3.4 million Norwegians are members of the Den Norske Kirke. That's 61% of the population. Really? I didn't know it was such a large percent of Norway's population. This is different than the Church of Norway. The Church of Norway is attracting new members too. Wow. Interesting. It's not because of a conservative wave. It's got liberal and non-judgmental views. Oh, you guys have liberal churches. That's very different. Sounds like a different sort of thing than the religion and churches in America. But it seems to be attracting a lot of Norwegians. So that's cool. Interesting. Police in Norway seek more support. Norwegian defense forces won't be alone in responding to national emergencies. Norway's statewide police force is responsible and wants a major boost in its own funding. Oh, it's not just the Norwegian military that wants more funding, it's the Norwegian police. This includes counteracting hacking and sabotage. Wow. And this was all vocalized at an annual gathering of police last week in Norway. Wow. So even the police in Norway are on edge. Wow. And want more support, more funding. Interesting. Trump's tariffs on seafood are absurd. Oh, God. This article is kind of old. This is like from 20 days ago. Norwegian seafood producers are among the hardest hit by U.S. President Trump's tariffs. It's a 16% tariff on Norwegian salmon. That was brought down to 10, and now the tariffs are paused. So I think that's where we are right now. But I'm sure lots of Norwegian businesses and exporters are so mad at these tariffs, but a lot of American companies are mad at these tariffs. And the trade war between America and China right now, that's kind of the biggest news in the United States. These crazy negotiations, not really, like we're trying to negotiate with China, but it's not working. And it's quite scary because the United States imports a lot of stuff from China. A lot of US businesses depend on China. So this has actually been very bad for a lot of American businesses, the tariffs. Very, very bad. But it's paused for now, and we're kind of seeing what's going to happen. No one really knows. But that's been the story, hasn't it? So with that, I think that's it for now. Very interesting. I can't believe I didn't know Norwegian Prime Minister was in America. So thank goodness I took a look at this Norwegian news, because that's really interesting and cool. And all of this was really interesting. It's just stuff that you never hear about this stuff in America. It's kind of sad. So I was glad to learn about this today. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on any of this Norwegian news and the relationship between America and Norway, the Trump meeting with Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre, any of that. That'd be cool to hear about from Norwegians out there. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway and learning about Norwegian culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.